God is kept and He deserves the best praise. God is gracious this morning and He deserves the best praise. This is the day the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. I'm going to make up my mind to rejoice and begin to give God praise in spite of everything that you want to. Come on, put your hands together and give God some praise. Hallelujah. This is the day the Lord has made. Come on, put your hands together. Hallelujah. The day that the Lord has made.
This is the day that the Lord has made.
And I will rejoice and be glad in it.
I will rejoice and be glad in it.
Oh, this is the day that the Lord has made.
This is the day that the Lord has made.
I will rejoice and be glad in it.
I will rejoice and be glad.
Say hallelujah. And be glad in it.
I will rejoice and be glad.
Come on, say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
We bless your name. Hallelujah. We come to praise your name.
Hallelujah.
We lift you high.
We lift you high in this place.
Yeah. Say hallelujah.
Hallelujah. We bless your name. Hallelujah.
We praise your name.
Praise your name.
Come to hell, our heart give him glory because he is good. And he deserves all the praise. He deserves all the glory. Hallelujah. Anybody come to worship God this morning? With a fruit of your lips, somebody come to worship him. In spirit and in truth. Anybody come to worship him? And God said, I love you more than anything. I love you more than anything. Hallelujah. I lift my hands in total adoration to you. You reign on the throne, for you are God and God alone. Because of you, everything are gone. I can sing to you this song. I just want to say that I love you more than anything. Come on, say I lift my hands. Lift your hands in this place. Come on. For your God. That's love. Come on, everybody say, Jesus wins. Jesus wins. Calvary. Calvary. Save us. Save us. Just like you and me. You and me. That's love. He didn't have to do it. But he hung on the cross for my sins and your sins. So they hold him high. on, put your hands together, God, some praise. Hallelujah. Anybody here grateful and thankful that God has graced you, God has blessed you, God has kept you through every trial, every tribulation? The next song we're about to say is, for every mountain you brought me over, every valley you see me through. For every blessing, God, we say hallelujah. And for this, anybody say, for this, God, I want to give you praise. I still want to make it my heart to bless you. Even while I'm going through, I still want to thank you, because I should have lost my mind. I should have went crazy. I should have told you the time, but God, here you are. That's something you want to rejoice to God for. Listen, there are certain situations we go through in life, that you go through in life, that people that's going through the same thing that you went through are no longer here, but you are here. I say people are going through certain situations in life. You sit here, but they dead. Some people have cancer, they die, but here you are, you had cancer, and you're free. Some people went through different things in their lives, the same thing that you went through. Here you are. You got hands to wave, you got eyes to see, you got hands to walk, and you got a voice to talk. You want to lift your hands in this place and begin to give God the praise. Because He deserves it all. And we praise Him for it. We praise Him for it. We bless Him for it. We worship Him for it. We honor Him for it. We lift Him for it, God. Hallelujah. Come on, shout hallelujah. Oh, come on, you can that shout hallelujah. Hallelujah. We give you glory. Hallelujah.
So much to
Thank you, teacher. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, baby.
So many wonderful blessings.
Yes, Lord.
And so many open doors.
In your Bibles to 1 Corinthians chapter 10, one verse. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, I want to read one verse. I've been preaching well over 20. See, I started when I was, my God, about 26 or almost 24 years. Been pastoring for almost 21 years. And I've only preached this particular text one time in all of that time, but I love this verse. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse number 13. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse number 13. It says this: no temptation has seized you that isn't common for people. But God is faithful, who won't allow you to be tempted beyond your abilities. Instead, with the temptation, God will also supply a way out so that you will be able to endure it. This morning with your prayers, and for about perhaps 30-35 minutes if you work with me, I want to speak from this topic: didn't know I had it in me. Look at somebody and say, I didn't know I had it in me. Didn't know. I didn't know I had it in me. Pastor, where do you get this particular topic from? Because as I was leaving out of the parking lot of the University of Houston main campus on this past Thursday, I was leaving out as a student for the last time. Y'all not saying amen. I said, as I was leaving out of the parking lot of the University of Houston's main campus, there, the garage right there at the corner of Holman Street. Y'all not saying amen. Holman and Scott. And as I was leaving out, I realized this is going to be my last time leaving out of this garage as a student. And something hit me when I first started. I didn't know I had it in me. Y'all not going to say amen. I'm going to dive right into what we're dealing with. We're in the book of Corinthians. Say Corinthians. Corinth, can I give you a little history? Is the most important city in Greece during the time of the Apostle Paul. This cosmopolitan center thrived on commerce and entertainment and corruption. Y'all not going to say amen. And pleasure seekers came to Corinth to spend money on a holiday from morality. Y'all not going to say amen. Corinth almost sounds like the modern day Las Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So notorious then was Corinth that the term Corinthiazomai meant to be or to act like a Corinthian. It became synonymous for sin. Y'all not going to say amen. And listen, I want to know, how can you make it in Corinth? How can you make it in Corinth? Listen, but I didn't know I had it in me. Four things, and I'm out of your way. In this text, I see temptation. In this text, I see trust. In this text, I see talent. And in this text, I see tolerance. Say temptation, trust, talent, and tolerance. I'm diving right in. The first part of the verse says that there is no temptation that has seized you, that has taken you, that has grabbed a hold of you. Please hear me now. That's not common to man. Can you say amen? So let's define temptation. Temptation is a test. It's a trial, it's a problem, it's an issue, it's a fear, it's perhaps a negative experience. Remember, I said this past week on Tuesday, I was talking about how I realized not a lot of stuff was done negatively to me. In my life. Ain't a lot of stuff. I did some negative stuff to people, but not a lot of stuff to me. Many people, particularly women, but people in general, have had stuff did to them. The question is, please hear me now, you want to make certain that that thing don't do something in you. Y'all not saying that. It was did to you, but make certain it don't do nothing in you. Can you say amen? And you got to be careful with temptation. Say temptation. Temptation is this Greek word, perasmos, and it has two meanings. I want you to catch this. When the devil is defining it, it means lust meeting opportunity. You didn't hear what I just said? Okay, I'm going to go on. I'm trying to be nice and trying to be a theologian, and I'm trying to help you out, but I'm going to have to go on. Get messy now. The devil's definition is when your lust meets an opportunity and you're tempted. It's a temptation. It's an enticement. Amen? But then the other definition is God's definition. It's when an opportunity meets your faith. And that has something to do with your integrity. Y'all not going to say that. So when the devil says temptation, he's trying to entice you to mess up. But when God say you're being tested, it's an opportunity to see where your faith is. Y'all not going to shout up in here, but I'm going to help you. Turn with me in your Bible to Luke chapter 4. Let's go and deal with this thing. Say temptation. Yeah, I would argue that most, or certainly many, if not most people, think temptation is something enticing you to sin.
Come on, Pastor.
That's what you think when you think, I was tempted. Y'all not going to say amen. I was tempted to overindulge in that ice cream. Because I got a weakness when it comes to sweets. Y'all not going to say amen. I was tempted to holler at that brother even though I saw a ring on that second finger. Y'all not going to say that. Because he was just so fine and looked so... Why I got quiet right there? Turn with me to Luke. What did I say? Luke? Okay, I had to make certain I'm in the right house. Luke chapter 4. Luke chapter 4, verse number 2. Luke 4, verse number 2. I'm running. It says, there he, Jesus, was tempted for 40 days by the devil. He ate nothing during those days, and afterwards Jesus was starving. Notice it says there he was tempted. Now let me ask you this. Do you think Jesus was being enticed to sin, or do you think Jesus saw this as an opportunity to see where his faith was? Y'all not going to say amen. Y'all don't know Bible good. Y'all know Jesus didn't want to sin. So even though the word there is tempted, it really means test. You got to be careful with words in the Bible. Because you see one word and you define it one way, but that's not what the Bible is talking about. The Bible literally says, there he was tested. Okay, let's drop down to verse number, glory to God, verse number 13. It says, Luke 4, verse number 13, after finishing every temptation, the devil departed from him, listen, until the next. You missed what I said. Remember, my definition is when it's the devil, it's lust meeting an opportunity. But when it's God, it's an opportunity meeting your faith. When it's the devil, it's enticement. When it's God, it's integrity. When it's the devil, he's tempting you. When it's God, he's testing you. Y'all not saying nothing. And ain't no use of you getting mad with a professor that tests you. Because it really ain't for the professor. It's really to let you know how well you've mastered the subject. Y'all not going to. I'm in a research methods class. It was my last class, perhaps my toughest class. Y'all not going to say amen. But I knew where I stood as it came up to the last test. And so as I was studying, I remember Reverend Atkinson called me one time when I was studying, but instead, she said, it don't sound like you're worried. And I said, I ain't. Because the last test is worth 10 points. Y'all not going to say amen. I already got 88 points. You're not hearing what I'm saying. I don't have to master this to get an A. I just got to slide with at least a 60 out of 100 points. How many of y'all know that was easy? So I slid into an 80, but the test wasn't for her. The test was for me. Y'all not saying nothing up in here. All right, let's look at another scripture. I want you to see this. John chapter 6. Because Jesus tests us. Yes, he does. I say Jesus test. Now let me just go ahead and help you. He don't test you with no foolishness. So he's not sending tragedy in your life. Please hear me now, to test you. He didn't take nobody from you. That devil is a lie. Hear people lying at funerals. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. That devil is a lie. Is that in the Bible? Yes, in the Bible. It's truly stated, but it's not a statement of truth. God is not an Indian giver, and when you're going through in life, you got a tendency to project stuff on God that ain't got nothing to do with it. Y'all not gonna say amen. The devil tried to tempt you with that, oh my God, with that tragedy. God say, now I can use it.
There you go.
I didn't send it, but I can use it. Okay, Pastor, I need a scripture. Oh, and we know that all things work together, but y'all not shouting up in here. Okay, let me show you where. John 6, that's where I want to go then. John 6, verse number 6. I want you to see. I want you to see the principle here. John 6, verse number 6. Glory to God. It says this. I preached this a little while ago. I talked about this all I got. But look at this text. John 6:6 says, Jesus said this. This is when he feeds the 5,000 with the 2-piece fish dinner. Jesus said this. He asked them, where are we going to buy food? He said this. Listen, to test him.
Come on now.
Oh my God. That's the same word, Greek word for temptation. But it's amazing that as opposed to them saying Jesus said this to tempt him, they said Jesus said it to test him. I love the translator, at least right here, because they understand if Jesus is doing it, it's a test. Y'all not saying, I say it's the same Greek word that they are using for temptation, but here it says test. Not only does Jesus test you, you got to test you. 2 Corinthians chapter 13. I'm going to preach it while I'm preaching. 2 Corinthians chapter 13.
Come on,
Yeah. Didn't know I had it in me. Glory to God. 2 Corinthians, that's what I said? Chapter 13. Let's look at it. Verse number 5. 2 Corinthians 13, verse number 5. Check this out. Examine yourselves.
Come on now.
To see if you are in the faith. Test yourself. That word examine is the same Greek word for test. But then it comes to the next part and it go ahead and uses the same word. It say test yourself to see if you're in the faith.
Come on.
Test yourselves. Don't you understand that Jesus Christ is in you?
Come on.
Unless, of course, you fail. Y'all not shouting. You'll never know what's in you until you have a test. Y'all not gonna shout. You talk about all you want, how you know your timetables, but I don't know if they in you until I test you. Pastor, I know my timetable. Maybe you do, but I need you to take a little test. And if you're really mature, you're going to say, to make certain I have mastered this, I want to know if I can take the test. Look at somebody and say temptation. But secondly, in the text, I see trust. Say trust. Trust. Because of God's faithfulness, I have confidence. I have conviction. I have assurance. I rely on him, depend on him, bank on him, and count on him. Notice in 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, it says that no temptation has seized you, has taken you, that's not common to people, period. But God is faithful. That's where I got trust from, because God is faithful. Listen, I didn't know I had it in me because I forgot God. Look at somebody and say, I forgot God is faithful. Yeah, sometimes the devil will make you forget that God is faithful. Deuteronomy chapter 7. Deuteronomy chapter 7. Man, I'm going real good here. I'm going to be out in a good time. On verse Sunday, look at God. Deuteronomy 7 verse number 9. Deuteronomy 7 verse number 9. I'm running. Deuteronomy 7 verse number 9 says, know now then that the Lord your God is the only true God. There are some other gods. Y'all not going to say amen. But he's the only true God. I don't have no beef with Buddha, but he's the only. I'm not mad at Muhammad, but he's the only. I'm not confused about Confucius, but he is the only. going to say amen up in here. He's the only true God. Where's your point? Where's the trust factor, Didnt? Here it is. He is the faithful God. So literally the true God got to be the faithful God. And the faithful God has got to be the God that you can rely on, bank on, trust on, depend on, lean on. Know what he does? He keeps his covenant. I wish I could preach about covenant, because that's what's missing in today's society, no respect for covenant. And let me just go ahead and help you. It's been a problem since Jesus left. Lord, deliver me from all the old folk that talk about how it used to be. It wasn't nothing different when it used to be. Because ain't nothing new under the sun. I heard one preacher get mad at this particular song. I'm putting it out there. I got mad at this particular song that's out. And I said, baby, the only reason he's mad is because the song new.
That's right.
And didn't I ask you a question this morning? I say, ain't the old song, wasn't the old song at some point new? You missed what I said. I wish they would go back to the old song. But the old song was new. So we need some new. It's still not saying nothing. See, we get caught up on methods and methodology. God say, I'm caught up in results. I never have a problem with how they used to do it as long as they got results. So I'm not going to make fun of the old school devotion where the deacon got on his knees and prayed as if praise and worship is better. It don't make no difference. We can go back old school, and Jesus' question would be, are people being healed? Are people being delivered? Are people being set free? And if they are, let's go back to now we come here once more, now and again, in the most honest way we know how. We can go right back to that as long as we get results. Turn with me in your Bible, glory to God. Turn with me in your Bible. Joshua chapter 4. Joshua chapter 4. Joshua, I'm going in the wrong direction, amen. Joshua chapter 4, verse number 20. I'm talking about his faithfulness now. Remember, you got a temptation, but you also got to learn how to trust. You'll never find out what's in you until you learn how to trust. Joshua 4 verse number 20 says this: Joshua set up at Gilgal those 12 stones they had taken from the Jordan. He said to the Israelites, in the future, your children will ask their parents, what about these stones? Look at somebody and say, then. That means when they ask, you let your children know Israel crossed over the Jordan here on dry ground. This was because the Lord your God dried up the water of the Jordan before you until you crossed over. This was exactly what he did at the Red Sea. He dried it up before us until we crossed over. This happened so that all the earth's people might know that the Lord's power is great and that you may always revere the Lord your God. Y'all not going to say amen. God say you can trust me because I got a track record. And one thing about me as a parent, I'm teaching my children how to put their trust in God. Y'all not going to say amen. They think it's daddy, but it ain't daddy, it's God. Now, I know some guys around me and females say, you gonna make it hard on the next man for your daughters. I ain't making it hard on nobody. Y'all not saying nothing up in here. I'm gonna live before my daughters with a God consciousness because I want them to remember that I serve a God who did it before. He can do it again. Look at somebody and say, if he did it before, he can do it again. He can do it again. He can do it again. He can do it. What do these stones mean? Every now and then I remind my children of where we were. Every now and then I remind my children of how only we could afford was a doggone me Whopper with no cheese. I don't know about y'all. I like cheese on my Whopper. About the old school Whoppers. I know they different now, but I'm talking about when them little marks on that thing really meant it had been on the grill. Turn with me in your Bible. I want one more. Can I give you one more? Well, I might as well give you one more. Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11. Verse number 11. 11 and 11. If I had any dice players, you'd know the importance of 11. I said if I had 3 dice players, you'd know the importance. 7 11. Y'all not going to say. On that first row, you want 7 11. Hebrews 11 and 11 says, by faith, I want you to catch this now, even Sarah received, I'm going somewhere, the ability or the power or the talent, I'm going somewhere, to have a child, though she herself was barren and past the age for having children, because she believed that the one who promised was faithful. Y'all not saying. Sarah initially laughed at God, but at some point in her life, Sarah realized, I'm laughing, but I got to admit, God is faithful. Some of y'all used to laugh at this whole church thing, but if you ever get serious about God, you will lift up your hand and say, I got to admit, God is faithful. Should have been dead, but God is faithful. Could have been dead, but God is faithful. I almost lost my mind, but God is faithful. Look at somebody say he's faithful. Okay, I'm almost done. I see temptation. Say temptation. I see trust. Say trust. And I see talent. Say talent. Okay, where do I get it from? He says, remember in the text, he says, no temptation has seized you, has taken you, has embraced you, that is not common to people. But God is faithful. Oh my God. Who will not allow you, will not permit you to be tempted beyond your ability. Don't run from that. Don't run from that. Talent is your ability. See, I didn't know I had it in me, but God say, y'all not hearing me. He say, I'm going to give you some of my power. Y'all not saying that. And the reason I'm going to give it to you is because when it worked for you, you're going to give me the glory. So in my last 2 years, I didn't know how I put it in the thing, but I forgot to say I graduated with honors. And let me tell you what happened. My first years in college, you please hear me now about people who have no bounce back, who have no fortitude. I'm going somewhere. Please hear me now. I started my college journey in 1985.
Yes.
Playing around at the same U of H campus. Oh, it's so different now. They used to call it U of H High. But now it's a tier 1 university. Now check this out. Me with my smart self wasn't successful. Please hear me now, when it was Cougar High. But something happened between 1985 and 2015. Y'all missing them 5s. 85, 5 is grace. 2015, 15, when I stepped back on the campus. Now it's a tier 1 research university, but now I done tapped into some power. And so you graduate with honors based on what you did in your last 2 years. My first 2 wasn't too good. Back in the 80s and 90s. A little class here, a little class there, a little withdrawing here. Anybody know what I'm talking about? You get in the class and withdraw from the class because you ain't tapped into the power. Listen, talent is aptitude. Say aptitude. Talent is ability, it's strength, it's skill, it's a gift, it's dexterity, it's capacity. Talent is power. And God say He not going to allow you to be tested beyond your ability. Now this what you got to love. He going to take you right up to cardio. I wish I had some brothers that lifted weights. You have spotters when you lift, and you got good spotters when you lift weight. Please hear me now. They know if you're going to develop a muscle, they got to put enough on that and it make it feel like you can't lift it. Notice I say they make it feel like you can't lift it. Listen, I can't bench 300. But ain't no use you putting 100 up there. That ain't going to help me. Oh, y'all ain't got quiet. For me now, you're going to have to put about 220, 230 on that thing. Now that thing going to hurt me. Y'all not saying it. But he's not going to allow me to be tested beyond my ability. Y'all ain't got quiet. Turn with me in your Bible. I want you to see this. Deuteronomy 8. We don't like this one right here. Deuteronomy 8. Now this is in light of the system. I know the system messed up, but you got to tap into the power. I'll never deny there is discrimination, there is racism, there is sexism, there is classism. There's all kind of isms. They legit, but you got to tap. Look at somebody say, I got to tap into my talent. Yeah, God gave me some talent. Deuteronomy 8. Listen to this now. Deuteronomy 8. I want you to see where this talent coming from. Deuteronomy 8, verse number 17. Listen to God. God, He knows us so good. I guess He created us. He knows. He said, don't think to yourself, my own strength, my own abilities have produced all this success or prosperity for me. Remember the Lord your God. He's the one who's given you the strength, who's given you the power to be prosperous in order to establish the covenant. Y'all not saying that. Can I give you one more? Y'all ain't got quiet. Y'all ain't got quiet. Ephesians 3. I got one more for you. Ephesians 3. I'm almost done. Amen. Ephesians 3. I'm going to give him the credit. Amen. Yeah, I ain't got no smarts. He get the credit. I tapped into the power. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. It's not I can't do all, I can do all things through Christ. He's the one who's strengthening. Y'all ain't got quiet up in here. Where do I want us to go? Where do I want us to go? Where? Ephesians 3. Okay, this is a good crowd. Y'all is paying attention and everything. Amen. To my Facebook crowd, we have a church where the church pay attention. Ephesians 3, verse number 20. I'm talking about the talent now. Glory to God, who is able to do far beyond all that we can ask or imagine. Oh, somebody call it. By his power that's at work within us. It's his power, but he puts it in me and it comes out looking like it's my talent. That's why I will stand on stage with anybody, because I know I ain't standing alone. You can put me before the top preacher or after, and no intimidation, because it ain't my power. But if I step up here, I'm going to step into his power. That's that. You too arrogant, baby. My boast is in the Lord. The Bible says if you're going to boast, you better boast in the Lord. It's my daddy that gave me the power. You're looking at the wrong person. It ain't my power. I'm sorry. It's his power. It just looks like it's mine because when it come out, you think that's my talent. Just like when David threw that rock, they thought it was David's power. David had talent with the slingshot, but it's the power that got in the rock. Y'all not seeing this. Okay, I gotta say this right here. Can I say this right here? I'm gonna say this right here. I was gonna give a little prize away. I did it last week and it took too long and y'all. I'm not gonna do it, but I was gonna do this right here. I was gonna do this right here. I was gonna ask you, how did Frederick Douglass learn how to read? I was gonna ask you that. I was gonna ask you that. I was gonna ask you. And some people already hear him. You're trying to ask, you say, well, he taught himself. And if you really know anything historically, you say, probably the master's wife. And some of that's true. But I'm just trying to show you the talent that God gives us. This is how Fred used his mind. This is crazy. Listen to what I'm about to say, how he learned how to read. This is so crazy. Frederick Douglass would take the food, the scraps that the master gave him, and trade it with the poor white boys who taught him how. Y'all not saying that. You didn't hear what I just said. Isn't that ironic? You would think this brother wouldn't have nothing, but God gonna always give you something to work. Y'all not saying nothing. Oh God. I told y'all, I done told y'all about it. I told y'all about the movie Get Out, and I'm so sorry. Y'all should have saw it by now. I'm not trying to throw it off. I don't want to mess up the story for you. It's a great movie. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 100. Y'all not gonna, it's a must see. I'm not trying to give it up for you. All I'm trying to say is that the brother that was in the movie had to use what God gave him to get out. Y'all not saying. And if you're in a bad situation today, you better use what God gave you to get out of it. Get out of poverty. Get out of depression. Get out of oppression. Get out. Hey, somebody say, I got to get out. I got to get out. I got to get out. Get out of that bad relationship. Get out. Yeah. Okay, I'm almost done. Well, I'm almost done, because I see temptation, I see trust, I see talent. Oh my God, I got ahead of myself. This is it. I see tolerance. God, temptation has seized you, embraced you, has taken you. That's not common to people. You see that, right? But God is faithful. That's the trust. You see that, right? Who won't allow you to be tested beyond your ability. You see the talent, right? Now notice he says, and with the test will provide a way of escape so that you can bear it. Oh my God. No. He say it's gonna be heavy, but listen, your tolerance, your fortitude, your stamina, your tenacity, your grit, your resilience. If you're a black person, you don't know what kind of blood you got in you. I don't know who I say if you black, I ain't black, I'm African American. If you African American, if you black, if you Negro, if you colored, it's some blood running in you that has some tolerance qualities. Y'all not, see, I know some of y'all ain't ready for tolerate, because you think I'm talking about tolerate foolishness. Notice I'm talking about, remember we're talking about the test. He said you're going to be able to handle the test because you don't know what's in you. But if you ever find out what's in you, you can handle it. Please hear me now. You can tolerate it. Let me show it to you. I'm going to show it to you in the Bible. Proverbs 24. I showed you the Bible will do better than I do. Proverbs 24. Pastor, I just feel weak. Proverbs 24. I just feel weak. Life just too hard. Proverbs 24. Glory to God. Proverbs 24, verse number 16. Say the righteous may fall 7 times, but still. That sounds like tolerance to me. What normally would knock people out only knocks me down. Oh my God. There's some stuff you didn't experience with y'all not gonna, with your African American self. It was the blood in you that helped you survive it. You didn't think you was gonna make it through that breakup, but the blood that's running in you helped you tolerate the pain. Look at somebody say, I can tolerate, I can tolerate, I can tolerate. I can tolerate. Can I give you one more? I'm closing with this one right here. Isaiah. If you can't shout on Isaiah, there's no shouting. Isaiah chapter 40. Isaiah chapter, this is for my weak folk. Somebody already know where I'm going. Isaiah 40, I'm going to start at verse number 28 because I like it. I'm prophesying to somebody. Don't you know? Haven't you heard? I'm prophesying. The Lord is the everlasting God. The creator of the ends of the earth. He don't grow tired or weary. Remember, it ain't my power, it's his power. And so since it's his power that's given me the talent, I can tolerate it. Listen, his understanding is beyond human reach. He gives power to the tired and revives the exhausted. Youth will become weary. Young men will certainly stumble, but they that wait upon the Lord. You thought wait meant sitting around. That devil is a lie. Those that serve the Lord, they'll mount up on wings like eagles. They'll run and not get weary. They'll walk with their bad self and not faint. Look, somebody say, I can tolerate it. Come on, tell them I can tolerate it. If I can close, I close right here. Because not only is there temptation, not only is there trust, not only is there talent, not only is there tolerance. Look at somebody and say, I can take it. Tell them I can take it. You didn't even know what you had in you, Brother Ferguson. You can take it, man. Too fancy, you didn't even know what you had in you, man. When I met Too Fancy, y'all not gonna say, man, his wife, amen, brought me to their home, not the home they in now. They got a serious house now. This was just their apartment. And she knew the power of prayer. She brought me over there to pray. He was asleep. With like a little attitude. Who is this Negro you bringing? That's Too Fancy. I'm talking about Too Fancy right there. Who is this Negro you bringing up? But she understood the power of prayer. And even though that was probably 16, 17, 18 years ago, now you got a daughter in college. Y'all not gonna say amen. Now y'all living like the Cosby's. Y'all not gonna say amen. Got a good car and a work car. Y'all ain't shouting up in here. You know you done made it when you got a good car and a work car. You didn't know you had it? Rena, you don't know what you got in you, baby. That test got you the first time. Yeah, you took the test. You ain't passed everything on the test. And the enemy try to get in your head and tell you, she supposed to be a teacher. Enemy get in your head, I don't know if I can do it. That devil is a lie. He wouldn't have never had me take the test if I ain't got, y'all not shouting up in here. So the next time you go back and take the test, you go back with this attitude, I didn't even know I had it in me. This your pastor. Can I boast in the Lord? Here's a brother who didn't make it back in school going to college in the 80s. And fast forward 20 plus years later, 30 years later, the same guy that didn't make it now got people offering me positions to teach people in college. The same guy that didn't make it because I have tolerance, because I have talent, because I understand the test, but most importantly because I put my trust in God. The same guy in 6 years on my way to be for real Dr. Taylor Dimes Jr. And look at how serendipitous God is. I had no idea she was going. I didn't ask her to come to church today. Had no idea. My niece, I talked about her, bragged on her. She's a medical doctor. It's a couple of haters, but I'm always. And she's uncomfortable with it. That's how my family is. But we gonna start. We trophies for God. We gotta let people know what we're capable of. I had no idea that's the niece who used her credit. I ain't have none. See, to go to school, you need some money. my uncle enough to put her credit on the line. That's how I got my master's because of error. But God said, if you can get your master's, you can get your, y'all not saying nothing. Okay, let me just go ahead and help you. I don't care what field you're in, you need to get educated in it. It may not be a formal education. You may, where is Dad in here? Dad drive trucks. I push Dad to listen. I say, Doc, you need to dominate the transportation industry. Last time I checked, I think he got like 3 trucks. He got a big old giant. What's that truck you got where you have the special license for? That big truck you got. What is that one called? Flat, but it's big. How many wheels on it? It ain't got just like 4 wheels. I looked at it. It's got 10 wheels on it. Amen. That's a big truck. And he got 2 more trucks. And he's a tremendous supporter of the ministry. In fact, the floor you got your feet on was donated by a truck driver who got educated in his field. We got to teach our children excellence. I don't care whatever field you're in, dominate. And be honest with yourself. I want to be a rapper. If you can't flow, get out of that field. Maybe you need to write so somebody else can go, but you can't flow. Pastor, I know I can do it now. You talk to 10 people who love you and all of them told you the truth. You're not that good, man. Didn't even know I had it in me. There's some brothers in here right now. You didn't know you had real husband in you. Because we didn't have no, y'all ain't got quiet. We didn't have no example. But a real husband is in you. Well, God is going to allow you to begin to see your spouse as meeting every need. The faith need, the friend need, the family need. I'm sorry, old folk, and the freak need. It's amazing. We just overlook stuff in the Bible because we so squeamish and we don't teach people nothing. And then they run out on porn sites and all that foolishness. We need to tell them Song of Solomon's is a love book. Read your wife's Song of Solomon. Glory to God. I don't even know how I ended, where I'm going. But what I'm saying is, it's in you. Your pastor believes in you. It's time for you to believe in you.